3, 2, 1. YouTubers, Silverwater Correctional Complex, which is apparently its new name, which involves, it's the entire jail. So there's multiple jails there. Sorry about that little shake, I just hit the table. Multiple jails at Silverwater. Silverwater would be the main correctional centre inside Sydney, meant to, purpose built for remand. So there's a lot of stress there, a lot of problems there, as is going to happen with any remand centre. So not really for sentencing, mate. If you're going to court and stuff, or you've just come in and you're on remand, then you refuse bail, that's where you're going to sit. You'll also sit at Parkley or Long Bay, but most people are going to go through Silverwater or stay at Silverwater. Silverwater, boys call it Silverwater, technically MRRC, Metropolitan Remand and Reception Centre. Massive, holds over 1,000 inmates, used to hold nearly 1,000, but they've added a mental health wings, like there's multiple wings. They've also used the Oval, which used to be for exercise, and put more wings on that. So it's massive now, and they've done this with all the jails, just plonked on these factory built wings that they've made up in a factory, brought them out and just bolted them together like fucking Lego. And that's what they're doing. They're not building rehabilitations or nothing like that, but that's for another podcast. Anyway, Silverwater, you'll go in there and there's this smell at reception, and anybody who's been in will tell you they know that smell. And you can go to another jail, you can be there for years. You come back in and you go through Silverwater reception cells, because that's where everyone transits through as well in Sydney. And you get that smell. As soon as that smell hits you, you just get this yucky feeling, because it's associated with coming in and people coming in, hanging out and going crazy and going to court. And, just that smell reminds you of all them bad times, the worst times, you've probably had in jail, or the most stressful. Anyway, the cells originally were pretty good. This is MRRC. The multiple jails on there are MRRC, which is the big one, Mullewa, which is the women's one, Dawndelois, which is like a C3, I believe, C2, C3. So that's like a minimum where you get day leave, work release and all that. There's also Old Silverwater, which is technically Silverwater. And that used to just be there by itself before they built MRRC, and that was just like a sentence jail, minimum security. They had outside workers and all that shit. So now it's like they've built multiple jails on there. There's 4 jails on there. Apart from that, it cells. Most of the cells were initially built as 2 outs. During when ice peaked and all that, they started turning the 1 outs into 2 outs. There's 6 or 8, 2, 4, 6 or 8 1 outs in each wing. I think each thing holds 56 or 60, between 50 and 60 inmates. Might hold a bit more now, depending on the cells. You go to Darcy, they're nearly all 1 outs that have been converted into 2 outs. Not many side-by-side beds, just bunks. You'll be left in there for 21 hours a day, no TV, no nothing, and you just have to sit there. You don't really have soap, you don't have anything when you come in. And they don't really give it to you either, and you don't have an opportunity. It's like get it off the sweepers. You get out of your cell, you get kicked out into the yard, you stay out in the yard, you come back in, your dinner gets delivered to your cell, straight to your cell. So you don't have the wing opportunity. It gets handed out once a week. If you get there on a Thursday, it gets handed out on Wednesday. They just make it so fucking difficult. And the boys that are sweepers there, usually a bit sus. They get along with the screws very well. They're out from 6 in the morning till 8 at night or something, and they don't do nothing. You can call out all you want. 99%, unless you know them or they know you're one of the boys, they're not going to come to your room. So yeah, bit fucked up there. Then once you get to go to another wing, this is why boys think jail's so good, because they'll be like, not so good, but some of them think, oh, it was pretty good, because they take you to the depths at first. They don't leave you with that impression before you get out. They take you at the depths, and things just get better from there. So every time things get better, you're like, fuck, this is amazing, because you've just been to Darcy. Now you're going up to a wing, you've got a side-by-side bed, you've got a TV, you're about to get buy-up, people are more settled in, no one's screaming out, and fucking, you got more chance, people are getting visits, so you got more chance of getting some bupe or something to make you feel better, and seeing someone, and a lot more space, a lot more time out of the cell. So automatically you're like, oh, this is great, When you take someone, like if this is normal, and you take someone down here and then bring them to here, they think this is great. But it's not, it's fucking still terrible, but you've just put them in like hopelessly fucking putrid place, I think, all of us should have cells. Everyone should probably be 1 out coming in. I know there's a lot of, probably more suicides in that. Yeah, that was probably a silly comment, but for me and for some people that are experienced inmates, that would much prefer to be 1 out coming in and just, just to gather your thoughts and relieve that stress, have a TV in the room, and then when you do go to another wing, it's not so like thinking jail's easy and jail's great, because it's fucking not. It's not. And boys don't compare it to the outside, they compare it to the inside. They compare it to when they come in, to where they are then, and all that, you know. And then by the time they get out, they've been in for so long, they're institutionalized. They think people are looking at them weird. They think everyone knows they're from jail. They think they've got no hope. You've just wasted a few years. A lot of first timers, if they got out after 6 weeks or 4 weeks or 2 weeks, like, they'd probably change their life. Massive fucking chance you'd have way less recidivism. But that doesn't help, you know, government grants and getting the officers more, you know, keeping their jobs and all that shit, or building rehabilitation places. There should be way more rehabilitation places. There should be drug-free wings where people choose to go there. There's meant to be. But you know what I mean? Like, who gets the offers and that, you know? Some of these wings are so small and so minute, and just like one random wing here, there's like 30 people there. 90% of the system don't get an opportunity to be there. Same as being released. They should be going out into like care or support, you know. You need some sort of support for a few months there. And the basic life skills that you don't learn in there. So you used to learn more. You used to learn how to cook and all that shit, you know. Now they've taken all that away. They've just given us microwaves. You lose the rice cooker. You lose everything that you can cook. I actually learned how to cook inside. And now the boys that get out, they don't know how to cook shit except for noodles and eggs. And it's stupid. It's actually stupid. They're all about making money now. But yeah, anyway, Silverwater's like that. I haven't been to the minimums, but from what I've heard, Dawn DeLois, people just bring back nearly everything. Like, not everyone gets searched coming back in and whatever, and people think it's great, but it's also bringing all that shit back is just keeping you in that path and keeping you on that path. So as much as I'm like, yeah, the boys, like, whatever, I'm still like, yeah, it's not a good situation to be in going into minimum, because you're going to be way too comfortable. You're going to think it's way too good and all that shit. But a lot of things happen at Silverwater. There is a lot of violence. There is a lot of segregation also by the officers, but there's also a lot of officers that choose to be there and more than likely got bullied at school, and now they're taking it out on inmates that are in there. A friend of theirs might have got their house robbed or home invaded. So then all of a sudden, any inmates in there, they think, you know, you get painted with the same brush as everyone else. They treat, you know, people say treat the screws like this. The screws there are pretty terrible. Like, they choose to be. It's not like a country jail. Country screws and city screws are a lot different. Yeah, so you just don't, yeah. But the way everything's segregated too, in there, is when people clash and come together, more dramas are gonna happen. Look, I don't have the answers on how to fix the system, obviously, but I think look to the European countries. But that's Silverwater for you. In your cell, you got 2 side-by-side beds. You got a shower in there. Press the button. It'll go anywhere from 4 to 6 or 7 minutes. It's meant to be 6 minutes, but it depends on the pressure. So it just lets out a certain amount of water. If they turn the pressure up, you're gonna have a shorter shower because it's gonna come out faster, obviously. You don't get like a doona blanket. You get them hospital blankets. They give you them. You can buy on the activity buy up, but you get 2 sheets, two of them blankets, one in summer, which get washed every fortnight. Yeah, your sheets get washed every week. Your pillowcase, you get 1 pillow. You get the buy up, you know. I can do a thing on buy up, show you the forms and that, and tell you everything that most people buy, what they cook and stuff. I'll do that in another video. But as for Silverwater, it's a pretty shithole, you know, and people are usually excited to get out of there. But if you stay there for a little bit, a few months, and you start to get visits or someone's getting visits, then it's good. It always depends on the people there. But some areas, because they have different area managers, like you might be in, you know, Hampden or Goldsmith or whatever, depends how it's run. If you've got a real nasty, putrid, you know, area manager, then everyone's always getting locked down, and, you know, they're breaching actually human rights there. And this is Australia. Someone has a fight, they'll lock you in. Lock me. I get locked in because someone else has a fight. Even if they catch them. How the fuck am I getting punished every time someone else has a fight? Someone yells at a screw, everyone locked in. Everyone gets locked in, so then that actually causes tension between inmates, and the inmates won't take it out on each other because you can't stand up for the screws and say, why'd you fucking do that, you know? But what it does is it builds up tension. Everyone gets pissed off, so that when something does boil over, people are ready to snap a lot quicker and be out of control, rather than, like, you know, if you have an argument, you're sort of in control. When you build a lot of stress and a lot of tension up, something happens, you click, that's it, that's the end. So yeah, I found that with Silverwater. Did have sometimes there where the screws were good and they all worked together, and they were even telling us what people were in for, or this guy's sus or shit like that, you know. Letting us get the bupe out and shit like that, you know. Like, we were the sweepers, they'd let us go out and grab the bag because they'd spit it in the bin. But they knew, the wing ran so good then too. Like, there was hardly any fights, there was hardly anything. But when you get start to get really strict screws in there, everybody's getting charged, everybody's locked in, the tension's fucking out of control. People will do shit just to get out of there when it's like that. So it's pretty messed up. But as for Sydney, it's probably the least place you want to be for most people. You know, Parkleigh being privately run, you get away with a lot of shit there. But it also is bad for your future. You know, if you want a future and all that. But as for courses, good luck with that. Courses on remand are ridiculous. That you could just get moved at any time. So they really don't bother with them. They have some things that they have to do, you know, like because of the budget and shit. So they'll just line things up and no one will be in the course. Things won't happen, you know. You could have a 6-week course that you could pump out 8 a year. They'll do 4 of them. It's just, yeah, trying to see welfare, trying to see a psych, trying to see any of that. Good luck. The last time I went in, I remember I said, can I please see a psych? They laughed at me because I wasn't Aboriginal. They said, yeah, good luck, you won't see a psych. I won't see a psych inside prison, a psychologist. Don't you think that's the main thing that people would need to see in there? Like, that's the main, like, what you can hire extra people and swap shifts so you all get paid overtime so that at the end of the financial year, we all get locked in for days over days over days because you just can't pay people because you know, you do your little shift swaps at the start of the financial year and use up all the budget, but you can't just hire a few psychologists. Imagine that. Imagine how many people they could help. They're quite insane. I've got to stop saying that word quite, don't I? It annoys me sometimes saying it. But anyway, so yeah, that's Silverwater, guys. Old Silverwater, they don't hold many of the minimums and that in Malawa, from what I've heard, and hopefully get this officer on soon. She told me that, yeah, it's putrid. And other officers that I've met that have worked there, they've told me that it's nasty, it's putrid, like, it's way worse than being locked up with where the men are, surprisingly. And that's what it is, guys. Yeah, Silverwater. That's an insight for you, you know. But the cells, you know what, if they had good officers and good programs and things to help people, it would be a good jail, and it could be a good jail. Thanks for that, guys. You can go now. I'll do Kempsey and Wellington next. They're similar, but you know what? Like, I think they'll surprise you. Them ones, you know, they're more of the newer ones. So people tend to look at the old jails and think, oh, this is bad, a lot of bad things have happened here. But that doesn't mean they're happening now, like these new ones. You can go now. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, guys. Make sure you subscribe. And please join the members for members-only content. Bringing you members-only training videos soon to help you all the jail training, and also some members-only stuff. Members-only discounts on art and merch as well. So join the members, support the channel. A lot of this does not get monetized, so I'm bringing this to you because this is what you're asking for. These are the type of content people keep asking me for. Now you can go.